try to not pay attention, dude. I really do.
Yeah.
I try to distract myself with science stuff and space. I was watching this documentary yesterday on how they make chips, like how they make like semiconductor chips. Dude, this fucking machine that they use. I'm going to send you this, Jamie, because it's bananas. It's like one of the most complex machines in the world. And this machine they use to make semiconductors, make chips. And they were explaining the process of making these chips, how fucking nuts it is, man. The amount of atoms that are stacked on and like the way they do it to make these like super complex high-end chips. There's people out there, Tony, that are doing things way different than us. Okay?
Yeah,
We're out
like
there talking about sucking dicks and people shitting themselves. And what's going on in other parts of the world is people are doing science fiction. Like they're actually doing science fiction. Here it is. Give me a second. I like to save things. Here it is. The world's most important machine. Yes. Did you find it? Yeah, but just go to the. There's some animation where they show how they make these things. Like it was right where you were at. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. So they're just showing some of the different aspects of how these things are made. Look, go back to where that guy had the laser beam. That's perfect, actually, where that guy had the laser beam. So this is him explaining this. So look at this. Back it up a little bit and give me some volume. Can you back it up a little bit, please?
We want to introduce it to you with a thought experiment. Imagine you are shrunk down to the size of an ant. And you're given a laser that's strong enough to melt through metal like butter. Next, a tiny droplet of molten tin, roughly the size of a white blood cell, is shot out in front of you around 250 kilometers per hour. And your task is to hit this not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row in 20 microseconds with your little laser. Well, that is exactly what this machine does. It hits one tiny tin droplet 3 times in a row, heating each one up to over 220,000 Kelvin. That's roughly 40 times hotter than the surface of the sun. And it doesn't just hit one droplet. It hits 50,000 droplets every single second.
How often do you miss a laser shot?
We don't miss them.
What? You do 150,000 laser shots a second and you don't miss one.
Exactly.
The same machine also contains mirrors that might just be the smoothest objects in the universe. If you scale one up to the size of the Earth, then the largest bump would be no thicker than a playing card.
What
On top
the
of that,
fuck?
it is able to overlay one layer of a chip perfectly on top of another and never be off by more than 5 atoms. And this is all happening while parts of the machine whip around at accelerations of over 20 Gs. For 30 years, almost everyone thought that actually building this machine was impossible. And yet, it exists. There is only one company in the world that can make it. So what is this company? And what is this impossible machine they've built? This video is...
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they doing with that?
All computers, like computer chips that are getting better and better and better. All these AI chips. This is how they make it.
One interesting thing I can just add, I know when they make those, they make like a big sheet of chips, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there'll be like 30 or 50 of them. They'll test each one, and the ones that are the best, like test out like 1 out of 100. Ones that are like closest to 100 become like the i9 chip. And if it's like 85 out of 100, it becomes like the i7 chip.
Oh,
so they all
really?
come off the same sheet. So it's like the best ones become the best chips and selling for the most money. And then
No kidding. Interesting. So there was that issue with that Samsung chip factory, and it was about they weren't getting the results that they wanted. So it's probably they were getting more of the shitty chips
Yeah, they
and
wanted-
not enough of the perfect
yeah, they
chips.
want really high-end chips. And they're really,
You can
really
smoke.
hard
We
to
have
make.
a fan in here, dude.
Sweet.
I mean,
Tonight, this viral video of a Arizona single father chasing down a tow truck is sweeping social media. Rachel Torres has the story.
Fake.
imagine if everybody died and it was just us in this room and there was like 3 late, well, it'd be more than that. We'd have to have more people. Otherwise, we're going to fuck up the gene pool. We're all going to look like the English royals. We probably need a few thousand people. We need a few thousand people, like regular people, like you and I that don't know shit about how these things work.
Yeah.
How much time would we need if we repopulated the earth with what we know? Basically, you're starting out like a half-ass prepper, you know, like someone who's on an episode of Lost, you know, like one of those plane crash people trying to figure out how to survive out there. You're fucked.
Oh, yeah.
You're not inventing that. How long is it going to take?
Infinity.
And how many people have to pave the way? This is the thing. For every one of these people that makes an invention like this, you're making this on the back of thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking super geniuses that have figured out each and every step of the way that can lead you to thinking, is this possible that we could do this next? You know, they all build on each other. So you need all these guys, and hopefully they don't get any pussy. Because otherwise they're going to get distracted.
Yeah.
You know, I bet if one of them gets a hot wife, like one of their patents kicks, and they start making bank, and then all of a sudden he shows up for work in a Ferrari, and next you know he's got a hot wife, everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Civilization just went back 100, 200 years.
We're going to lose Tim.
Yeah.
Tim's taking Adderall, coding 18 hours a day, trying to figure out how to get us to Mars. Actually, that's a bad point because Elon clearly gets pussy and doesn't seem to be affecting him at all.
I think Elon's different.
He's definitely different.
Yeah.
I
I think
mean,
some people are different.
It's fascinating how many people want to find flaws in what he's doing instead of just looking at this like, wow, this is an extraordinary time to be alive. But it's because of this narrative that people have. One of them, the big one, is this U.S. aid is killing people narrative, that people have died because of U.S. aid. And then a bunch of people have given examples of how them cutting the funding has led to the end of certain people's lives, like when they were in hospitals that didn't have any funding. And there's a lot of that you could point to say, right, if they had the money, they would have had the funding, and they would have had that equipment in place, or maybe they wouldn't have. But here's the other thing. That's not discounting the fact that a lot of that money is fraud.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Like, it's not a little amount. And the idea that you should let it go on because it's going to save lives and there's a bunch of people that are stealing money. Okay, I see that argument. But why are we sending them money in the first place? Like, did we do something to them? Do we owe them money? No?
Right.
Okay, we're just being nice? Are you sure we're just being nice? Is there anybody profiting off of us being nice? Because usually just being nice for no reason and just giving tax money away for no reason, I don't think they do that. I don't think that's real. I used to think that was real. I used to think that charity was real. And now I look at it, I go, oh, no. This is a giant scam that's wrapped up in virtue. It's wrapped up in a nice, cozy blanket of being kind and compassionate and virtuous and doing good things for people all around the world. I think a lot of people get involved in those things because that's what they think. We're going to do good things around the world. Good people. I really believe that. And then they find out how it really works. And then they get stuck in that system, and then they're making their way up their, air quotes, corporate ladder to the point where some of them are making $1 million a year. And you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? This is a business. This isn't really charity. Most of the money is going to your employees and your overhead and why do you have such a big building? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
How come you're not just funneling the money to these people?
Exactly.
Like the LA Fire Aid.
Yeah.
Great example. Spencer Pratt told me, what number did he say of nonprofits got that money? It's over $100 million gets raised. I don't know the exact total. All of it goes to these different nonprofits. I think he said 200 different nonprofits got the money. So, and then what happens to that? Well, they just pay their employees. They pay overhead. They pay their rent on fucking nice office on wherever they live. Fuck, man. It's so disheartening because so that's what all that stuff is. And it's also, if you listen to when Mike Benz has been on my podcast a few times and explains USAID, people think of it as aid. You think of it as, oh, we're helping the world, which is great, right? But it's not that. It's the Agency for International Development. And it involves funding rap bands overseas that are the subversive rap bands that are supposed to excite people to take over the government. There's like a bunch of like weird shit. Funds rebels. It funds newspapers. And what was he talking about? Like there was a lot of it like funding rap music. Like, this is crazy. People have long said that rap music, even though, listen, you love hip hop. I know you just got back from Kanye West. I'm a huge hip hop fan.
We got to talk about that at some
We
point.
definitely do. I love hip hop. But there's some people that believe that gangsta rap in particular, when it came about in the 1980s, was a part of the push to popularize it and produce it, was a part of the government, some faction of the government, some intelligence agencies wanting to create more crime, wanting to fill more private prisons, wanting to erode the fabric of society so they could push for more laws to keep you safer. This is like one of the most tinfoil-y of tinfoil hat conspiracies. But people are pointing out that right now is like one of the rare times where no rap music is on the charts.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, how does this coincide with USAID? Was USAID like actively promoting rap music? Was that one of the reasons why rap music was so popular? Is that real? That can't be real.
Maybe back in the day. It seems like that would be more manipulative. I don't see how.
I believed that until I heard mumble rap. I'm like, this is not real. This is trying to make people stupid.
Yeah.
There's something about this, you know.
Right.
So, and obviously some artists are better at it than others. Some of them are fun the way they do it. But I'm saying there's a giant chunk of them that are inaudible. You don't know what they're like. Who's into this?
Oh, almost all of them. Inaudible.
Like what's going on there? Imagine if that was it. It was like people heard Nas and like, this guy's too smart. We got to dumb it down a little.
Right.
We got to promote some people that can barely talk.
Yeah.
We got to promote some people that are on cough syrup. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's what. Have you ever done that cough syrup?
No.
They seem to love it.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes who are into that cough syrup, man. They swear by it.
It's crazy. It's got to be fun. It's got to be enjoyable.
Is it codeine? Is that what they're doing?
I think so.
Have you done it, Jamie? Bro, we talked about this before, but I remember back in the 90s, I got a hold of some NyQuil. The real NyQuil. Like, I guess they changed the formula for NyQuil. And I had, whatever, the flu or something. And I took some NyQuil and I was laying in bed and I was like, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Like, just the warmth, the softness of the pillows, the warmth of the bed with the covers over me. I'm like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, ooh, this is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is a dangerous feeling because if your life was shit and you found that, like, that's better than anything else that's happening in your life. And
Yeah.
you can get it at CVS. Son.
Crazy.
What was in the old NyQuil before they switched it?
TX.
I avoid that stuff like the
DMX.
plague. I'm afraid of
That's the
medicine.
guy.
So this
DMX.
stuff probably was like sitting in my house if I took it. So it might have even been older than 97 or 98 whenever this was that I was sick. But I'll never forget it. Because I'll never forget like getting scared. Like I could love this. Like I could just drink this during the day and just like sit on my back porch if I have the day off.
Yeah.
Just get obliterated with NyQuil and just enjoy the universe.
I told you about that time I took a half of the pain pill that the dentist gave me for my wisdom tooth. I was like, oh, fuck, this is life-changing.
It says the earliest NyQuil formula include ephedrine, which is a decongestant, doxylamine
TXM.
succinate, which is an antihistamine, acetaminophen, dextromethorphan,
Dex-
cough suppressant, and
TXM.
about 25% alcohol. Oh, I was getting drunk too. Wow. What changed in the mid-2000s after the combat methamphetamine? There it is. They removed pseudoephedrine. So was that the stuff? So it wasn't codeine. But is there I think there is NyQuil with codeine though, right? What I had was pretty good. I don't think it was as simple.
Yeah, you had the stuff they could make meth out of or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put it in Perplexity. And Perplexity says, in the mid-2000s, NyQuil brands sold in the U.S. do not contain codeine, and there's never been a standard Vicks NyQuil with codeine in its active ingredient lineup. Typical NyQuil form. So codeine. So does any cough syrup have codeine in it?
That's what lean is. So you guys were talking about before.
They add it,
No,
or is it just prescription cough syrup?
That was the whole thing about it.
Maybe I am fucking up my memory, and maybe it wasn't NyQuil. Because whatever it was, it seemed like
you get fucked up off NyQuil. But you have to drink like the whole bottle. You get NyQuil. Like, just get fucked up.
I definitely didn't drink the whole bottle. I know I took a dose, like a strong dose.
Yeah, that means you're just getting fucked up off 25% alcohol and a little bit of
Maybe.
a little bit of side meth.
See, the thing is,
Pseudo
it's
meth.
so long ago, I can't remember. I say NyQuil because it's like saying Q-tips, or Kleenex, just because it's tissues or ear swabs. I don't know if it was NyQuil, but it was cough syrup, whatever the fuck it was. And I felt wonderful. And I remember thinking, like, this could be a real problem. Like that one day in bed, because I'm always scared of stuff like that. I'm always scared to get. I knew too many people when I was growing up that got hooked on stuff, and it just derailed their life. So lying in bed, I was like, "Ooh, you're gonna do this again? No more of this."
Right.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a knee surgery once. They gave me morphine. They made morphine in a drip. And they say that you can only hit that button so many times it stops giving to you.
Yeah.
But every time you feel pain, you can just hit the button. Because I was on like a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah.
So my legs going, and I'm just this bang, 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 bang. Wee.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. We all like
Dental office.
Slash Rogan. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
The closest I come to that, because I've never had like a serious surgery or anything, but I go to this, we have a dental office here in Austin called the Austin Dental Spa. So their whole thing is like a luxurious dental experience. And they will hook you up to laughing gas, and they let you, like, if they're like, you want a little more? And I'm like, okay, yeah. And that's like the closest I get to it is once every 6 months or so I go there, and dude, I'm always excited about this fucking experience. It is so awesome.
You ever come up with bits after doing laughing gas?
No,
Does it
but
give you any idea?
No, but during the thing, it makes me weirdly honest. You ever seen in Kill Bill when he shoots her in the knee with the honest gun because he was a chemist for like a living? It's like his secret job. So he comes up with this truth serum, and I've noticed that it makes me like weirdly very honest. So one time when I was in the dental office, the guy's doing whatever, and I'm like, and I'm jacked on laughing gas because it's not really, you're not really like cracking up. You're just like in heaven, and you're like, it's kind of smiling ear to ear. And I remember going like, how long did you go to school for dental school? He's like, whatever the answer is, like 8 years. And I'm like, did you ever think about going longer and becoming a real doctor? And I realized, like, kind of in the moment, even though I was fucked up, like that sounds mean, but I think they're totally used to it. I think they know that laughing gas makes people fucking.
I bet they're not used to that, dude. That's so mean.
It's not supposed to. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like a dangerously
real doctor.
a dangerous truth serum.
Some people want to be dentists.
Yeah,
We need them too.
yeah.
You know?
Crazy gig.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
I know. Imagine how much bad breath they smell.
Oh, and just weird things lodged in teeth for God only knows how long.
When I got my root canal, one of the reasons why I had to get it is because I had a cap on my tooth, or a filler, whatever it is. What's it called?
Filler.
No, when they just
Filling.
fill your tooth up. Why can't I remember? Fillings. Why did I say filler? Whatever.
Yeah.
It was the old school one, where it was like white plastic. And when I was a kid, I used to have them. They were like fucking lead. They used to give you lead fillings, which is crazy. Like, kids had lead in their mouth. And it was hurting. It was bothering me. So what had happened was I had cracked the tooth, and it had gotten infected underneath the filling. So he takes the filling out and drills into it. And the smell that came out of my mouth, it was pus. All this pus came out, and this fucking horrific smell. I was like, oh my God, is that coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's normal. It's decay. It's
Right.
like,
Just-
there's an infection under here. We're going to treat it. You're going to be fine.
Yeah. Piece of elk from 7 years ago.
This is a long time ago. This is a long time ago. It was before I was hunting, I think. But it was, people die from that stuff, which is really crazy. Like, if you don't take care of your teeth and you get that kind of infection, those kind of infections can become septic.
Yeah, well, it's nuts. Sometimes I'll do a thing where I'll water floss after I brush my teeth just to see what would have been left in there if I just did what normal humans do. Because
there's a
one
bunch
of
of
those
shit left
high
in
pressure water flossers that I fucking love. Complete game changer for life. And it's insane what will jet out of there. What gets stuck deep in between the teeth and everything. And I think for the most part, I do it before I brush, but every once in a while I'll be like, I wonder if there's anything left in there,
Yeah, you have to floss.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bunch of shit stuck in there. But
and even then, sometimes I'll regular floss and then brush my teeth, and just out of curiosity go, I wonder if there's anything left in there, and I'll do a once over with the water flosser, and you see like ding, 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 3 little things come out. It's like that would have marinated in between my teeth or in the back of my gum line or whatever.
yeah, that's not good. But according to my dentist, he thinks it's all sugar. He thinks if you go back and you look at like when people started developing serious cavities, people have always had abscesses and broken teeth, and there's always been like dental problems that haunted people. Because back in the day, man, they just pull the tooth out, and then who knows what kind of infection you still have in there, and they don't treat it. In the 1700s, if you broke a tooth and got an infection, you could be fucking dead. You could die from that shit. But he was saying that the amount of cavities like steeply increased when people started putting sugar in everything. And then kids started drinking sugary sodas and eating sugary candy, and that stuff gets stuck in your teeth. He's like, I think that's the cause of it.
Yeah. And probably high fructose corn syrup's probably just as bad, or if not worse, than actual sugar.
That stuff's not good for your body, that's for sure. Your body doesn't like it. Someone explained to me what's the difference in the absorption of high fructose corn syrup versus natural cane sugar. I completely forget how they explained it, but they were basically saying that there's some issues with how the body breaks it down. Well, when you drink a soda, just think about that. Where in nature do you get 20 grams of sugar just in liquid form? And you just pump it down. Glug, 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 glug. Refreshing.
Crazy. My buddy that I went to school with just flew in from Hawaii, which is where he's lived for like 20 years. He's like a wilderness guy. Climbs trees and cuts down his own pineapples and coconuts and stuff all the time. He's got a great life. And he checked a bag this trip just a few days ago, and he brought it to the mothership because that's where we met up. And he surprised me with this checked bag that was like that had the moldings built in and everything, and had 4 coconuts and 2 white Hawaiian pineapples, I think they're called, which like run like $65 each or something in the U.S. Like it's impossible to get. And according to him, I don't know. He's a real hippy dippy type.
Is that the dude that you brought to the mothership?
Yeah, Anthony. Yeah,
your friend from high school.
Yep,
which is crazy.
Yeah, he's the man. He's just a real dude.
It's crazy when you know people for that long.
Yeah.
And so this dude is just living in Hawaii, living his best life.
And I mean, holy shit, these fucking pineapple. He's like, dude, you're going to love this pineapple. He just kept going on about it. I'm like, all right, okay. Sure enough, holy fucking shit, man. It's nature can deliver you a sugar dose. Because he was saying that white Hawaiian pineapples have higher sugar but much lower acidity than what we're used to. So it makes a whole different, and since obviously it's natural sugar and this and that, it just makes a whole different type of fucking fruit. Crazy.
Sounds good.
Wild how we have to go other places to get unbelievable shit.
Well, of course, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii really should be its own country.
Yeah.
I love Hawaii. I'm glad they're protected by the United States. People are cool as fuck. It should be its own country. It's 5 hours by plane.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
White pineapples, primarily known as sugarloaf or white jade pineapples. Highly prized, rare variety grown in Hawaii. Unlike standard yellow, they feature creamy white flesh, practically no acidity, and a completely edible core.
It was great. And fucking, he climbs a goddamn tree like a little fucking monkey boy. Normal little white dude.
How did he wind up in Hawaii?
He's a real free spirit. He always was. I think he just went out there, visited, and stayed. He's the kind of guy that just gets a one-way ticket places and figures it out as he goes. He's in Youngstown right now. That shows you how adventurous and crazy he is. He's like, I'm going to spend a week and a half there. I'm like, a week and a half in Youngstown.
Why is he doing that?
Visit family and friends, he said.
Is there a good hotel to stay at in Youngstown?
And I even had to look this up recently because I'm like, I'm not staying at the crazy hotel that I stayed at last time I was there. So I'm like, best hotel in Youngstown. And the funniest thing is the actual closest option was in Pennsylvania, like 50 minutes away. Truly. Wow. I mean, there's one like DoubleTree downtown, but it's in an area of absolute chaos. I mean, just death wish.
Do you ever go back there and go, I can't believe I grew up here?
Always, 100% of the time. got a feeling for it immediately when I went to LA and I didn't hear police sirens anymore, like as often, at least. You know what I mean?
Isn't that funny? Like LA with LA's crime.
That's what I always thought. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. I've heard these Tupac songs. Like, this is gonna be nuts. And it was
See, that was USAID.
so peaceful. Yeah, exactly. So peaceful. In Youngstown, at least when I was growing up there, you could hear a police siren or an ambulance siren almost at any point of the day.
God.
My buddy sent me a shirt recently too, another one buddy that has the stats on it of us being the murder capital. I think it was 90, 91, and 96 per capita. Not the biggest population, but per capita, it was the most dangerous place you could be. When I was in those most developmental years when a kid shouldn't be having his head next to the window. Yeah, there it is. I got that shirt.
Wow.
4-time defending champion, murder capital of America.
Wow.
Yep. In 01, 02, that puts me as a sophomore and junior in high school.
And you
95, 97, I'm 11, 12.
and you're being raised by your mom.
Yeah. On the craziest fucking area of the whole goddamn thing. The most dilapidated part of the north side of Youngstown.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't believe it. That's why, like, every part of my fucking story, I'm like, this is so goddamn weird. So weird.
It is when you think about it, right? When you really stop and think about it, it doesn't seem real. 60 years ago, this Ohio City was named Crime Town, USA.
Yep.
Crime Town.
75 bombings.
Yep.
Oh, this was the mob days.
Yep.
So it used to be a mob-run town, right?
Totally.
They were called Bomb Town?
Yeah, it was a Youngstown tune-up is a car bomb.
Look at this. 75 bombings, 11 killings in a decade, and no one seems to care.
They were so nuts in Youngstown that somebody tried to kill the actual prosecutor, the actual DA.
Oh, isn't that normal? Don't they always try to do that?
Well, it's...
Hi. Do you like shrimp?
What?
Oh, I'm
kind of the stupidest, craziest thing you could do, because then the entire FBI comes down on you. It's a little short-sighted to go, we're going to kill the main cop of this city and not think that anything's going to happen from that. Well, we beat the game. We beat the main cop.
Imagine trying to be an intelligent businessman and also a mob leader. Imagine like playing things out in advance, but also you're a mob leader.
There was a lot of that going on, and I got to see quite a bit of it. Like there were, let's put it this way, mall developers in Youngstown and things like that. And I got to see firsthand, very young, that they were communicating with politicians at lunchtime and stuff, because I was working at this little Italian restaurant at the time, right out of high school. And they were having these quiet meetups in the corner of a quiet Italian restaurant, and you would see these huge moguls, you know, I won't name any names, but big business people in Youngstown meeting with the local this and that and congressmen. I got to meet that congressman and that congressman because they're there meeting with these super duper rich people, and I'm like, I wonder what the correlation is there.
Bro, back then when there was no cell phones,
Yeah.
and you know they had to bug people. They had to literally bug businesses to get information.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were all doing something.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't be involved in any big time business if you weren't down with the Teamsters, if you weren't down with the longshoremen.
Yep.
You had to. We gotta work this out, Bobby.
Yeah.
We're businessmen.
Uh-huh.
That's how you did the business.
Give a little money to their campaign, not a little, but a bit, and then you can get your stuff passed and make life easier down the road.
Dude, I had friends that had no-show jobs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a
only
friend of
saw
mine that had a no-show job in New York at the Javits Center. You know, the Javits Center is like a big convention center.
Mm-mm.
He had a union no-show job.
Wow.
So he's a mob guy.
Yeah.
And they just gave him money.
I only
just get a
saw
free
that
check.
on The Sopranos. They had those
That's real, dude.
no-show construction jobs. They're sitting there with their portable fans.
Yeah, no, that's real, dude. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
They get a certain amount of jobs. Like they would make agreements. Like the union would make an agreement. We get a certain amount of these jobs. There's like, you know,
It's crazy.
there's really 100 jobs, but we want 130. Youngstown was a haven for organized crime, related corruption, was ingrained into the fabric of its society. A 2000 publication, New Republic, listed a chief of police, the outgoing prosecutor, the sheriff, the county engineer, members of the local police force, a city law director, several defense attorneys, politicians, judges, and a former assistant U.S. attorney as controlled by the mob.
So if they have that, if they found that for sure, imagine how many others there are.
Right. That's everybody.
That's everybody.
The
In a-
prosecutor, the sheriff, the county engineer, the police force, city law director, defense attorney. Imagine not being down with the mob.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to stay alive?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to work in this business?
Right. And this
Yeah.
is a city, I think we looked it up the other day, actually. I think it only has 25,000 white people. So knowing that black people tend to not be in the Italian mob, just going off of 25,000, and that's current. I don't know what it was back in the day, but the point is like, it's not a big city. It's not. I think 50,
Sounds-
60,000, half or less white. So,
There's Tony.
yeah.
There's little Tony watching pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Pro wrestling. And even then, I was obsessed with Goodfellas and A Bronx Tale and A Godfather, because it's like, it's just what you're taught is humanity. Like, that's life.
Yeah.
So getting out of that and going to LA and thinking it was going to be all, oh, it's going to be crazy, gangs and stuff, and it's just quiet. Granted, I started in Burbank, which is a fucking television studio essentially, but
When I moved to New Jersey and I didn't have any money, when I first moved to New York, I couldn't afford to live in New York City. Or I didn't even have an apartment. I stayed with my grandparents because my grandfather lived in New Jersey, in Newark. And he bought a house there in, I think it was like the 1940s. And they did a thing called blockbusting. Do you know what blockbusting is? They would go door to door and they would say, black people are moving to the neighborhood, you got to sell now. And everybody sold. It used to be an entirely Italian neighborhood. And he was like, I like black people, get the fuck out of here. And he kept his house. But he was like one of very few families that stayed. And then black people moved out. And then they started getting like different people, Spanish-speaking people, like Dominicans and a bunch of other. And that's how it was when I stayed with them. So this is like 91? Yeah, I was 3 years into comedy, so it's probably 91. And while I was living with him, the next door neighbor's house got broken into by the cops. The DEA smashed down his door. The dude had an Audi parked in that driveway. He was selling crack, like right next door to my grandpa.
wow.
The whole neighborhood was just nuts, dude. Like he would get really nervous when I would leave. Like I would leave to go play pool somewhere, and he'd be like, "Be careful." Like it was fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
But it didn't used to be. Like when he first moved there, it was just an all-Italian neighborhood.
Yep.
Real estate people, even back then, like what a dirty thing to do. Scare people into moving. That's probably the first project of USAID. That's probably
Yeah. Yeah,
they probably got real estate people to destroy neighborhoods.
there's something to it. I don't know the correlation of Italian neighborhoods being taken over, not taken over, but whatever, by black people. Like mob-run cities like Youngstown, like Chicago, like Detroit. It's an interesting anomaly. I wonder if there's any correlation between the things.
Well, you know, most of the Italians that came in the early 20th century were very poor. You know, they were all coming over here for labor jobs and things along those lines. And, you know, when they started doing better, they started moving out and moving into the suburbs and moving into, you know, more gentrified areas. It's always, what are the new immigrants that are going to come and take over this area that was like formerly a low-income Italian neighborhood or a low-income Irish neighborhood? It's the same thing. Like, there's cycles, you know? It's like there's cycles in fighting, too. Like, in the early 20th century, there's a lot of Jewish fighters. Like Slappy Maxie Rosenblum, you never heard of him, right?
No.
Yeah, some very good Jewish fighters, because they were poor, and they were the new immigrants, you know. And this is like before World War II, and then and even afterwards there was some, but then you get Italians. You get a lot of Italians. You get Rocky Marciano, Rocky Graziano. There's a lot of like Jake LaMotta. There's a lot of these like Italian bad motherfuckers because they were poor.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Then you got a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of, it's always like who's the new immigrants,
Right.
and who are the most hungry, come from the most poverty-ridden areas. Like Roberto Duran came from a terrible part of Panama, like not terrible, but I mean like very poor, very violent.
Yeah.
And he was one of the baddest motherfuckers.
Boom
of all
Boom
time.
Mancini was right
Yep.
down the street.
Yep.
This game, you're not ready for it.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that just shifts around, and it's amazing to watch.
Simple actions can have massive effects.
You can cooperate with people, compete with them, make friendships, deceive them, betray them.
Yeah. I mean, Youngstown's known for boxing.
Yeah. Kelly Pavlik.
Kelly Pavlik, who's been on the podcast, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He was a beast, dude.
Oh,
Woo.
man. That fight with him and Jermaine Taylor won.
Holy
Sometimes
shit.
I still rewatch the end of that to
How did he survive?
give me a burst of energy.
I mean, how did he make it through? That was a crazy. I mean, he got dropped. He looked like it looks like the fight was over. And then when he's got him in the corner and he rocks him, and you go, no way, he's coming back. This is crazy.
Crazy.
Did you watch the fights this weekend? Did you watch Lieutenant? I forget the dude who's fighting.
No, I was at that concert. I missed it.
Boots is very good, and for the most part, he beat his ass. But the third round, he got rocked. The third round was incredible because the kid he was fighting. Who's the gentleman that he was fighting, Jamie? Zayas, yeah, young kid. He got dropped in the second round, like pretty bad. Boots is very good. He's like one of the best boxers alive. And then the third round, the kid came back and rocked Boots, and it was just a war. Just the third round was incredible. Boots wound up stopping him. I think he stopped him in like the 7th or the 8th round. He just dropped him one last time, and the corner called it. It was enough. Like he was getting his ass kicked, but he was very, very valiant. It was a really good fight. Like Boots is better than him. Like clearly, it's like he's on another level. But this kid showed just tremendous heart. But it's like that third round was just coming back from getting dropped in the second. Like those kind of moments where a guy's getting fucked up, like the Gaethje Topuria fight.
Yep.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Right.
That's when it's really a fight.
A real fight.
Yeah.
Because Topuria was on him in that second round. Ooh.
Ooh, man, we were so close. They were in. They were.
You could hear it.
You could feel it. Where I was, man, and obviously we're always close to the cage on those things. But when Topuria was landing those body shots, it was right against our side of the fence, and I'm literally like, oh my! I mean, holy fucking shit, man. And I've seen a lot of people get ripped to the body before, but there's something about his close range strength in near that clinch, that close up fucking range of Ilya that is scary.
He's so good, dude. He's so good, and he's so precise. He just tried to, like, Chael, I always repeat this because Chael Sonnen said it was perfect. If you try to win by knockout and fail, you won't win a decision. And sometimes you just run out of gas because, like, you're not supposed to fight like that if you think that the fight's going to go 5 rounds. Like, Ilya had him hurt. He's like, I can take him out. But Justin's so durable, man. He's so durable. And that left hook to the body, the sound of it, man, it's just whip. It's so perfect. He throws perfect punches. His punches are just, I mean, even Justin said it in the post-fight interview. Like, when he's fresh, his skills are unmatched. Like, that's a crazy thing to say to a guy you just beat up and made stop. He stopped him in the 4th round.
Yeah.
That's crazy to say. Like, his skills are unmatched, but they really are.
At every point of that, anybody I think that knows anything about those two fighters is going, until this is stopped, anybody can win this. Like, even when his face was blown up and his eyes looked black and closed, until that air horn rings. I'm like, anything. One punch. And we've seen it even with Gaethje. You saw it with Holloway, right? Was it him? Who did he square up with in the middle?
Yes.
Holloway, yeah.
Yes.
So
Max
it's like
hit him with that final punch.
one
yeah.
chin, with 1 second left,
Yeah.
it can all be over.
Yeah, that was a little different in that Holloway caught him with a jump spinning back kick to the face in the very last seconds of the first round and broke the bone of his nose. We talked about it on the podcast, and I was like, that changed that fight, because before that, Gaethje was pressing him and it looked very competitive, and it looked like maybe Gaethje had a slight advantage. But that's because Max is very clever, very clever fighter. Like, he's always switching stances and moving, and really hadn't showed that spinning back kick a lot. That hadn't been a feature in a lot of his fights. He did it a few times, but for him to land it that way, backing up, jump to the face, I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect, and his nose was fucked. And if you're fighting with a broken bone on your face, every time you're getting hit, you're getting just blasted.
Yeah.
The pain is insane. And then, he was a step behind Max. Max was teeing off on him. He landed some good shots, though, even though it was a good fight. I mean, Max was definitely ahead in the 5th round, but it was a good fight. And then, during that wild exchange, he should have never done that.
Yeah.
He was already fading, whereas Max was still very fresh. Fucking crazy fight, man.
Yeah,
that was a crazy fight.
I think Topuria's nose was broken in round 2, I think. It was pretty early on. And
hard to say.
Yeah.
But Justin did clip him with a bunch of those uppercuts. So Justin does this thing where he collar ties you and then throws an uppercut in tight, and he's really good at it. He's really good at turning you a little and then throwing an uppercut. In these exchanges, he collar ties and uppercuts. He caught him a few times, and you just get one of those on the fucking nose, on the old schnozzle. This thing's so brittle.
Yeah.
It's if you feel your nose, just feel it. Have you ever seen Merab's nose? The X-ray of Merab's
No.
nose? You never seen it? I sent it to you, right, Jamie? Jamie will find it. It's crazy. Look at it looks like.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
Oh fuck.
Bro.
Jeez.
That thing is destroyed. I mean, it's destroyed. He's getting 0 air out of that. He's got the best cardio on planet Earth, and he's getting 0 air out of his nose. But he won't get it fixed. Because if he gets it fixed, he can't fight for a year. And he just wants to keep on trucking.
Yeah. That dude's a freak.
If I was his friend, I would say, dude, you got a lot of money. You're a world champion. Let's fix the nose. Let's fix it. Let's take a year off. Come back and fuck these motherfuckers up. Because if that guy's got a fixed nose, he's got 10% more cardio.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
That guy with 10% more cardio, that's an extra weapon. I would get it fixed. But the problem is, if he gets it fixed and then he fights a guy like Holloway and he gets spinning back kicked to the nose in the first round and it's shattered as again, then he's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Because if they have to fix it again, then they might have to start taking pieces of your rib out and reconstructing your nose and grafting bone and doing weird shit. And then sometimes that shit doesn't take, and sometimes it gets infected, and then you have a bone infection on your face. And what do they do then? Do they have to remove your nose? Is that what they have to do? Fuck.
God.
Scary shit, man.
Very much so.
These fucking dudes, man. That is a crazy job. To risk your life, risk your health, risk your bones. You're making a living by trying to damage another person who's trying to damage you.
Nuts.
But it's also why it's the most exciting shit in the world to watch.
Exactly.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
Even boxing, as, tamed in comparison to MMA because there's less weapons and less options, and
A lot more padding.
Yeah, you don't get the choke outs, the crazy choke outs. There was a crazy choke out this weekend. His name is Ruzaboyev, and he fought God, how do I say his last name? He fought this Russian cat and got him, Russian or Ukrainian, I forget, but he got him in a rear naked choke and put him to sleep. And it was one of those ones where the guy looks dead. He's lying there. I mean, it was a fucking nasty choke, man. And yeah, and it's, look at him.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It was dark, dude.
It's just like our new house. I hope you have an American Home Shield warranty.
It's another meme out this week, along with the WNBA
Pulev.
girl pointing.
That's his name. Bro, it's nuts.
The memes on these things are nuts nowadays.
The internet is undefeated.
Oh, it's crazy.
They're so good at memes.
Oh my god.
There's so many people out there working jobs that they hate that are smart and funny.
Yep. We were talking about it the other day, but have you caught up with any of those WNBA? What's her name? The girl that's pointing at her.
Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been paying it. Can you put that thing in the middle? Put the ashtray in the middle. I've been paying attention very little, but one of the things that I did watch is all the fouls. Like, these bitches throw each other to the ground. They poke each other in the eyes. Like, they do this. They literally jab each other in the eyes. It's crazy. Like, they foul, and also they travel so much.
Oh, it's crazy.
They take like 4 or 5 steps, and then no one calls them on it.
Oh, yeah. Double dribble, everything.
Is there a trend now to not call traveling?
Yes, without a doubt.
Well,
in the actual NBA, it's a thing, too.
There's it's hard to get into this without going way into like the weeds, but the NBA has a technically different rule than college and like high school and everyone else, where they call it a gather step, and they definitely would call it in high school. Yeah. But they work all day manipulating it with the referee, watching them, saying like, you can do that, but you can't do that. You can do this, but you can't do that. And so like they've got it to a place where everything they're doing looks like traveling and double dribbles, but guys will break it down in slow-mo, and you'll be like, well, technically it's not.
That's weird. I always thought if you took a step, you had to bounce the ball.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
You're allowed to.
Doesn't it seem like that should be how it is? When you see guys taking 4 steps, you're like, what's going on?
Well, do you want to see exciting basketball or not?
Yeah, I do.
All right, well then let's let the referees call the game how they call it.
But I think there's something exciting about you having to bounce that ball because you won't be able to score as much, right?
Correct.
Like if you have to bounce it every 2 steps, whatever it is.
I wish I loved the NBA like I did when I was a kid, and fucking Barkley and Jordan and Ewing and all these people were physical. It is just a whole different game now.
So back then, was it traveling? Like when the Larry Bird days?
Hell yeah. Unless Jordan talked to the ref and said, yo, you're wrong. Let me do what I want. And
well, Jordan had the cheat code where he would leap from the fucking free throw line.
Yeah.
That is so. When I've watched videos of that, it doesn't even look real. He was such an amazing athlete. He was so good and so possessed by his desire to win. He would do things that you would just go, how does a person fly? Dude, imagine if he was like one of those jumpers, those long distance jumpers. He'd probably have an insane jump. Yeah. Because he's going from the free throw line in the air. That's crazy.
Everything he did was crazy. The way he did things, the way he practiced, everything.
Yeah. And didn't he not make his college team? High school team?
No.
Wasn't there like 1 year?
When he was a freshman, he didn't make the varsity team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, most freshmen don't.
Perfect. May have changed basketball history forever.
Most freshmen, though, that doesn't make sense because they're not even developed yet.
Yeah, they're playing.
I know kids in Texas that keep their kids back a year.
Wow.
They want their kid to be bigger. I want Billy to be the biggest freshman. I want him to be a 15-year-old freshman. We're pushing for right before his 15th birthday. Like, hey, 15's a sophomore. Billy's a fucking cheater. Why are you sandbagging Billy?
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me nearly as much in a sport like football, where I see what you're doing, like you're preparing a kid for a professional future, perhaps. Especially in Texas, they're very into it down here. But if it's in wrestling, it's like, hey, there's fucking no money in this,
right?
And that kid's 16 and he's in the 9th grade. Like,
yeah, it's nuts.
How old is the oldest that a kid can be and compete in high school sports? Jamie, please put that into our sponsor, Perplexity. Let's find out. I wonder if it varies by sport.
Definitely by sport and by state.
Interesting. Do they all have a cap at 18? Or do they allow you to compete at 19?
Yeah, there's going to be but before I even hit enter, I know it's going to say something about like your graduating class can't be out for maybe more than like 2 years or something like that in case you got held back or you had an injury or something like that.
Boy, I remember from my days of being like 17 and 18, the difference between 17 and 19 was huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big difference.
Fuck yeah.
By the time you're 19, you're basically man strength. 17, I was like a boy still.
Yeah.
You know, like I was flimsy. 17, I was like a flimsy kid. By the time I was 19, it's a different animal. You've got 2 more years of training and testosterone in you. If you're a wrestler, that's got to be a huge advantage.
Everything in wrestling is a huge advantage. Starting 1 year earlier is crazy.
Huge advantage.
It's
Yeah.
19 based off of certain rules.
Oh, bro, that's so rude. Making 19-year-olds wrestle against like possibly 15-year-olds is crazy, right? So if you are like in a certain weight class that's not strong, like I wasn't a good wrestler. I was a pretty good wrestler, but I started. I was on the varsity team at my high school, and like 1 year I didn't even cut weight, or one weight class I didn't cut. There was a guy that was below me at like 126 or 128, and he was better than me. And so the next available weight class was 134, which is that's what I normally weighed when I was 15. So I just wrestled at 134.
That's lovely.
Yeah, but I could have been in there with a 19-year-old fucking animal who weighs $160 and dries himself out briefly to hit 134. And there was guys like that, man. You would see them at like the States, and you go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And they were going to camps, so they were wrestling 365 days a year, all year long.
Oh yeah.
I just started. I didn't know anything.
Same. I started as a freshman in high school and got fucked up.
I didn't even start as a freshman. I started as a sophomore. I started as a sophomore because some kid kicked my ass in the locker room. Some kid grabbed me in a headlock and threw me to the ground and didn't punch me. He could have punched me, decided not to, but I was so humiliated. I was like, oh my God, I need to learn how to wrestle. And then I also wrestled in the park, like in the grass with my friend Steven. And I thought I was a good athlete. I was doing karate. I was like, he can't take me down. He took me down instantly. I was like, oh no, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's a whole different beast.
It's also like how tired I get. I remember thinking, I used to think that I had worked out before that because I had, taken karate classes and done some taekwondo. I thought I'd worked out. You don't even know what working out is until you go through a wrestling practice. You're like, we're running stairs? What? We're carrying guys around the wrestling room? You pick up your partner, your training partner, you have the firemen carry them around the fucking room? Oh, Jesus Christ. Then you're doing push-ups and sit-ups till you puke, and then you're doing live drills. Fuck.
Non-stop.
Dude. Animals.
Yeah, we would rotate. There's all those different weight classes. And just for shits and giggles, one of the drills was, escape from the next guy. All right, beep, whistle blows, escape. You're on bottom. You have to get out. The next guy. So sometimes at a 103 weight class, I would have Hugh Frost, who was, I think, 235, 245, 250.
You have to wrestle with him?
Oh, yeah, just for one drill. And it's a fucking joke. It's a pancake. And he was probably showing mercy at the time, obviously, but not really, because he doesn't want to let this little fucking shithead 103 out from under him. So he's, putting enough pressure to keep everybody there. Not to mention the 165 freak of nature made of muscle and the 185, it was just a drill, but reality hits hard. That's how you see the difference between 15 and 17 and all that.
And someone who actually really knows how to wrestle, and just wrestler strength. Like I always tell people, if you want to look at MMA, like what is the most important skill? The foundation is wrestling. The foundation. If you wanted your kid to be a badass fighter, you're like, my kid really loves fighting, he thinks he wants to do it, but I want to prepare him right, what should I do? Teach him how to wrestle. Get that kid into a really good wrestling program. Because if you have advanced wrestling, you look at how it shuts down so many fighters. Like, look at what Hamzat did to Dricus du Plessis. Hamzat, he just ragdolled him. His wrestling is at such a high level. And Dricus, who was a world champion, couldn't do shit to stop it. He just dragged him to the ground anytime he wanted to.
Yeah.
Got him in a crucifix like 3 times.
Merab against O'Malley. I mean,
exactly.
You were watching a guy that does a no-look right hand knockout punch into a salute, no look at his opponent, right? It's just impossible. It appears impossible in every Khabib fight. The thing I always think about first when I think about Khabib fighting is him being on top and having his feet under the other dude's feet, which is just, that's it. It's the final level when you can't even begin the process of posturing out in any way. You are nothing. You are a tissue in an octagon with a man.
And he's wailing on your face.
Yeah.
He's wailing on your face, and he has your legs triangled underneath his legs.
It's always funny when UFC or when casual UFC fans don't understand those little things like that that aren't even part of the fight. They're looking up here waiting to see if the punches are going to rain down.
Yeah, here
but
it
the
is.
positioning of his feet is what I'm always looking at, and how scary it can be here.
Oh, he
He's
was
not
hell.
even doing it
He
right
was
now.
hell on top of people. He is right
But
here.
that leg being
he's
thrown
he's
is
half guarding it.
torture.
It's all the weight. His
Nothing you
weight.
can do. There's just nowhere to go. And all that weight on those hips, people don't realize. Like, I notice immediately if I ever see somebody that's kind of on top and their knees are on the ground. Like, if you look, his right knee isn't on the ground. It looks like it might be,
And look
but
how
it,
he keeps slamming those left hands into Johnson's head. I mean, he got hit with like 15, 20 unanswered, full force left hand blows.
He's holding his arms so he can't move.
Bro, he's horrible. He was horrible.
Yeah.
He was so good. Khabib was so good, and he would do this to world-class fighters, man. And by the way, Johnson clipped him in that fight too. It was one of the few times in his career where he got clipped. Yeah,
Who's the
man.
one that looked really frustrated?
What's that?
Who's the one that looked super frustrated in that?
Barboza?
I'm asking. I don't remember who it was.
Barboza was one of them. But I mean, a lot of guys that fought Khabib looked frustrated because there's not a damn thing they could do.
Nope.
Barboza was like early in the first round. He had that 1,000-yard stare, which like, fuck. Like, I have to go through 3 rounds of this, where they just give up on the idea that they could even win.
Yeah.
Like, all you're doing is trying to survive.
Yeah.
He was a monster, dude.
like that, his leg being trapped is nuts.
I
And
know,
look
and
how
he's
he's scooting with it.
And he's just slamming punches. And
Oh,
when
he
you
got
get
up.
up, he's just chasing you.
I got him right back down. I thought.
But if you get up, he's just gonna fucking chase you and drag you to the ground
Yeah.
again. So you blew all that energy to get up. The moment you try to punch or throw a kick, he's on you. You're on your back again. Punch to the face. Punch to the face. Yeah, wrestling's giant. It is the biggest skill.
Yeah.
You
And
have to know how to do everything else too nowadays, because all these kids that like you see in the Contender Series, these young guys coming up, man, they're all so fucking talented. He tried to wheel kick him.
And really, more than anything, I feel like being out wrestled and being just trapped on the ground is so psychologically demoralizing when you've been
completely.
training for a UFC fight and the crowd is out there and the lights are on you and you see the logos on the mat because you're facing it.
Back that up a little bit. Let me show you something here too. What's interesting here before the clinch. So after he throws the wheel kick, like Barboza's trying to win, right? This is the 3rd round. He's trying to win, and he throws a swap. But look, no, go before that. When he throws the kick, here it is. So he throws the kick and misses. He's so tired now that when Khabib moves for him, he clinches. Look, he instigated the clinch. Instead of pushing away, instead of circling to his left, he clinched because he's so tired, dude. He's so tired. And this dude just, look at that face. He just drags him down to the ground again. It's just hell.
2-on-1 on that arm underneath him.
I mean, he's just
Legs being thrown in. He doesn't know what to do with his legs. He actually just put his foot above Khabib because it's so confusing. All that weight on you. You don't know where to even begin to start getting up.
Well, the first thing he's got to do is get that left leg free, and he's not gonna.
Yeah.
Before the crawling thing.
He was a monster. He was a monster. And retired undefeated.
Yeah.
At Vistaprint, we know you've got that idea for your business. The one that stops people mid-walk. But once that idea is on flags, panel banners, A-frame signs, it's so much more than an idea. Print your possible with code NEW20 for 20% off your first order at Vistaprint.com.
And there's something to being on that mat, not being able to move, knowing that the clock is ticking, and this is not how you pictured this going.
Not only that, this is with the current rules, where I think there should be no stand-ups. I think the only time there should be a stand-up is when there's a foul.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I hate it when they stand people up.
Even if it's boring. Yeah, I get it's boring, but the guy can't get up, and this guy's holding him down, so he's winning.
Yes.
He's winning. See, I know he's not doing enough. What does that mean? He's biding his time. You've got to let a guy have strategy. Like when Muhammad Ali did rope-a-dope against George Foreman. Imagine if the referee's like, you've got to punch back. If you don't punch back, no, he's got a strategy. Strategy is let George Foreman burn himself out and then eventually tee off on him, and that's what he did.
Yeah. It stinks that referees can let the crowd get in their head.
Well, it's the organization wants action too. The fans want action. A lot of people disagree with me. I understand their point. I understand their point, especially if you're a casual. Like, it's gay, get them up, make them fight. They don't want to fight, they want to hug. Boo.
Right.
So what? So what? This is the sport. And if that guy who's on top, who's biding his time and recovering, then decides, okay, now's the time. Let me start dropping some bombs because I've recovered. Good. Well, he held the position and he recovered his energy, and now he's winning. Like, let him fucking fight. Let him fight. Get out of there.
Right.
Get out of there.
Yep.
There shouldn't be stand-ups.
And I get it. The referee gets that cheer from the crowd. You know, it feels rewarding.
Sometimes when they stand fights up, I get excited.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, here we go.
But striker has a change.
But my position is still the same. I don't think they should stand them up. I'm worse than that. I think they should start each round where they lost the last round.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That's great.
So every round, why do you get to stand up? Why do you get that advantage that a striker gets of standing up when you didn't earn it? Get back down there.
Yeah.
Get back down there. Crucifix. Imagine you have to start the round off in a crucifix. Yeah, that's how the round ended. They look at the big screen, get a freeze frame of the position. Referee sets you in the exact position and says, ready, fight.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what the sport is supposed to be. And sometimes it's going to be boring. Yeah. But that's real, though. At least it's real. Because there's been a lot of fights where the guy got taken down in the first round, starts out the second round and blasts the guy and knocks him out. And it's like, okay, it's exciting to watch, but he didn't earn that position. He just got that position because the other guy survived the first round. And so it's like, it's one fight. It's not 5 fights.
Right.
So I think it should be one continuous fight with a 1-minute break in each round.
Yeah, that'd be like if the team losing automatically got the kickoff after halftime or something like that.
Yeah, and look, guaranteed, if I was running the UFC, it would probably go bankrupt. I'm not the right guy. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'd be a terrible promoter. I'd be too honest about stuff, and I'd want to give people fights that maybe they weren't the most exciting fighters, but they were above the other person in the rankings. I think the rankings should be the whole reason why you make fights.
Sami Zayn won the Universal WWE Championship over this weekend at a big pay-per-view.
I have no idea who that is, but I'm happy for him.
Shocked Cody Rhodes. It was like a guaranteed win.
I wonder what happened.
Rolled him up real quick.
Do you think maybe that was fixed?
Well, it was very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I'm sure it was. I just don't understand how you go back and forth.
Oh, it's the best.
I know you love it.
Well, sometimes that's what I said about this White House card, by the way, is like there's nothing that could have happened that they could have written if it was written that would have made it more exciting.
Right.
It felt real the whole time, and the fights that happened before made it feel like anything could happen in that main event. Like, it just felt raw and real, but also storyline. Which then when UFC is at its best like that, it's like the WWE. That's what's interesting. Of course, it's not as, acrobatic.
Well, it's not scripted.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was a special moment. You know, it was regardless of how you feel politically, and I understand it. Right. If you hate the Republicans and you hate the whole idea, I get it. But just as a person who loves the sport, it was a very unusual experience. Very unusual. And I think people have to just look at some things that way. You know, some people have a really hard time separating themselves politically because they're going, oh no, that the White House puts on this thing, there's all this bad press because of the war, there's bad press because of this and that, and they put on this thing at the White House, and it's sort of like MAGA washes everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes everybody like them again. Gives them positive press, which, undeniable. Undeniable, it gave them positive press. I mean, the amount of people that have seen it is nuts. You know, I think just on Paramount, it's something like 30-something million now. And, they were telling me that they thought it was probably 150 million people had watched it in some form, which was, TikTok clips, Instagram, YouTube. That is a nutty number, man. And I think Dana and Hunter, they were thinking it could get to like 1 billion people see it, which is just nuts in some form, highlight reels, clips. I mean, just the Gaethje fight alone, just the highlight reels. How many people watch those on Instagram and TikTok?
Totally.
The awareness of the event of the moment was so huge. It was like nothing else. Like, it didn't feel like any other event we'd ever been. Like, I was nervous before it started.
Yeah.
Like I never get nervous for UFC. I get excited, but I was like legitimately nervous. I was feeling like a little like this is crazy. Like we're on the White House lawn.
Nuts. The flyover is when it really hit.
Yeah. Well, when they had all those jets together and they were so close to each other.
Yeah.
Like imagine if one of those fucking clips into their wing and spirals right into the ellipse.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy. What a spectacle.
Yeah. They would have definitely canceled the fights because they canceled the White House Correspondents' Dinner because of that assassination attempt.
God damn it.
Oh, you had a bunch of bangers on that, I heard.
Yeah, so annoying. I was more excited for that than like anything.
How did they just cancel it? Why didn't they reschedule it? Maybe they're going to wait until the ballroom's finished. Because that's the argument for the ballroom, that they could have it at a place like that where it's completely secured.
Yeah.
Kurt Metzger thinks the whole thing's fake.
Another
fake assassination attempt?
Yeah.
How'd that guy get in there?
Yeah.
I think some people are just incompetent. There's incompetence. There's bad security. There's people that don't do their job.
Also,
and there's also people that you didn't expect to be a problem and were a problem, and you're in a hotel.
Also, the guy made it to the first level of the first scanning of security. It's not like he made it into the thing.
But he did shoot somebody, right? I think he shot one of the Secret Service agents in his bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Is that true, Jamie?
I think so.
See, there were so many stories online. It's so hard to know what was true and what was not. But I think the guy was a teacher, like a substitute teacher.
Nuts. It's all nuts.
And it's like, man, you didn't think this out?
They rescheduled it for July 24th.
Okay.
The Correspondents' Dinner?
Yep.
Wow. I
It's
did not
on,
know
son. You might want to polish up some of them bits.
Yeah, it's going to be some new stuff.
Go back and tag some of them
Yeah.
with some current events. Where are they going to have it?
Sorry, I started to.
If they have it at the same spot, that's not smart.
New event held July 24th. That's not saying where.
Is at the Pentagon.
They might wait. They might wait to release that.
Yeah, it's not saying. Oh, Waldorf Astoria.
Oh, okay. Well, I guarantee you they'll tighten that bitch up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Need better internet? Cox Internet has the fast, reliable speeds you're looking for. Get Cox 300 meg internet with a 2-year plan, price lock guarantee, plus equipment included. Switch today. Taxes and fees excluded from price guarantee.
No, he was excited to do the jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was very pumped.
Yeah. They were bangers. I ran them because the thing happened. I happened to be performing at the Kennedy Center the next weekend. So I ran the jokes, and I realized that I had Adam Ray as a special guest that was on before me. He brought me on stage. So I go, you know what? I wrote jokes for the President of the United States to make fun of the press and everybody at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, but I just realized Adam's here. Adam, you want to come out and read these in Trump's voice? And so he was seeing the jokes for the first time and reading them, and we had so much fun.
I didn't know he does a Trump, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, his impressions are insane.
He can do anything, dude.
Yeah, he can do anybody.
He was dabbling in a Biden the week that I hit him up to do Trump Biden, which I think is a fucking god. I think it's like 40 million or some crazy amount. And again, just like the UFC, God only knows after clips. But it was a monumental comedy fucking moment having Shane as Trump.
Right before the election.
Adam as Biden, right before the election, right after their first debate, where Biden was clearly fucking zonked and sleepy and just couldn't compete at all. And so I hit up Adam via text. I'm like, do you have a Biden? He's like, I cover it for 5 seconds in my stand-up. I'm like, are you free on Monday to fly to Austin and do Biden if I can get Shane as Trump? And I remember telling Shane, I'm like, this is going to be an interesting ask. But I'm just like, hey, Adam's got a Biden. And Shane's like, I have something to do on Monday. I'm canceling it. I'm doing Trump. He immediately saw the brilliance. It was just such a hot topic at the time. And my God, it was fucking crazy. There's clips that I see of that episode, and I never rewatch Kill Tonys or anything. I'll see clips sometimes, and I literally go, Oh my God. Holy fucking shit. There's one part where Trump goes, how many more retards are you going to bring out here? Because there had been like 2 handicapped people on the show. All right. How many more retards do you have? As I'm pulling a name out of the bucket in real time, I go, anything can happen, Mr. President. Let's see what the next guy's like. And he comes out and he has like these weird deformed penguin arms. Oh, God. And you see Shane as Trump and the crowd's dying because they see him first. And you see Shane as Trump look and go, fuck. It's just one of his facial reactions to things are like his greatest secret fucking hilarious weapon. And when he's Trump, it's even amplified. It's like, in my opinion, 10 or 20% funnier than even Shane is. I mean, I'm sure he'd admit to this and know it because Trump is just such an interesting, polarizing character. And his take on him is so fucking funny. It's psychotic.
His impression's so good. It's the greatest Trump impression of all time because it's like the jokes are so good.
Oh,
like,
by far.
He's so good. What's funny, James?
It's so epic.
Back it up a little bit.
Another fun appearance by Drew Nickens.
This is the best.
All right.
Tony, how many more retarded guys do you have back?
Anything can happen.
This crowd is hungry for more retarded guys, and frankly, I don't think we've seen enough retarded guys. How about a retarded racist? Would you like to see that?
This next person could be one. I pulled it out of the bucket. It is the Kill Tony debut, I do believe, of Jacob Barr, everybody. Jacob Barr. Oh, my God. Thank you.
Well.
Oh, my God. Okay,
careful what you wish for.
Okay, hold on. We're going to reset this, Jacob.
What's funny is Adam knows better than anybody that you're not supposed to say anything after the bucket bowl comes up. So me grabbing the mic out of his hand and putting it down is even another layer of hilarious to all of us. It's like Biden's misbehaving. I don't know. Did you see Shane's face when he notices his hands? This is it. Look. And then...
He's our Jackie Gleason.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
That's what it is.
Plus, man.
He's the great one
He's
of
something
our
else.
generation.
What people don't realize, I mean, obviously, is that he is that funny all the fucking time.
All the time. When we're hanging out in the green room.
Every bar, every restaurant, every green room, every stairway, fucking anywhere, everything. I always compare it to Mike Tyson in his prime. He just hits harder and different, doing the smallest little things, even if it's a face, if somebody says something and he just like reacts to it. It's crazy.
It's also always fun. Yeah. He's a fun guy. Like he wants to have fun. Like even when he's cracking jokes, it's fun.
Well,
I know he was very reluctant to do the roast. You know, he was a little reluctant to even host that. Like, I don't know if I want to do those things.
Yeah.
You know, but...
Well, everything is, everything could be something. He crushed so hard. It caused a real ruckus. Him and I end-capping that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be this roast of black excellence, and me and Shane are just fucking having the time of our lives. He got to
Who said it was a roast of black excellence? You're just saying that because it was Kevin Hart?
Well, yeah, that was.
It wasn't like explicitly stated or anything, right?
I mean,
because imagine if you said we're gonna have a roast of white excellence.
Right, exactly.
That's
I know.
Crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. We can and can't say.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's a whole thing with that. I mean. You can't talk about this, but you can talk about that.
Well, it's just weird what we accept, which doesn't bother me at all. But like Cain Velasquez, when he fought in the UFC, he used to have brown pride tattooed on his chest. Cool. And his family came over from Mexico. They literally walked here.
Yeah.
White pride, not so popular.
Right.
White pride on your chest. You know, fucking Sean Strickland just decided to get white pride. And he posted a picture on Instagram of him as a world champion with white pride on his chest next to Cain Velasquez as a world champion with brown pride on his chest.
Yeah.
And people would lose their fucking minds.
Yes.
And again, not saying that Sean would ever put white pride on his chest.
He would. No, he would. I follow him.
He doesn't have any tattoos.
I follow him on Twitter. He would. Trust me.
He's a wild boy.
He'd
Did you see when he
get a
showed up?
temporary tattoo.
He showed up at the UFC even though he was banned. He showed up and they arrested him.
Yeah.
They kicked him out. He's the world champion. There's a UFC event at the White House. At the time, before Justin won, he was the only American world champion. And they're like, you can't come.
Yeah.
Because you talk too much shit about Israel.
Mm-hmm. He's a wild boy.
But that's wild. That your criticism about Israel is what keeps you from going to the White House as a world champion in a world title fights at the White House.
Yeah.
Like, you would think you would want to celebrate the American male world champion. I think he said some other stuff too, though.
Yeah.
There's some Epstein stuff there.
Yeah.
Said, he's a wild boy.
Yeah. I think he's...
I told him when he retires from fighting, 100% should do a podcast. And he was like, I've seen these guys doing these streamers, and like, I go, you don't have to do that.
Right.
You don't have to do it that way. He's like, I couldn't do that. Just sit there every day and talk to people for hours. I'd lose my fucking mind. I'm like, right, but you don't have to do that. Just your opinions on things. Like, he's an awesome podcast guest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, he could totally do that. Just talk about stuff. And also, Sean, when he lets the whole shtick down and just gives you his opinions on things, very smart guy. He's not stupid at all. And he would get better at it, you know, as he did it more. He easily could do a podcast.
Yeah, he's entertaining as fuck.
I just can't believe they kicked him out of the White House. And they kicked him out of the ellipse, that area. I think there's video of it. See if we can find